Hi friends, welcome back. I'm still in South Florida. James is in Salt Lake City. I'm actually in Key Biscayne National Park, and in the next video you'll see why I'm here. So if you haven't yet subscribed and turned on post notifications, you should probably do that. But today James and I want to tell you how taking risks has really changed so much in our life.
So Christina has been in Florida for the past 2 weeks, getting ocean and family related time. I've been getting a lot of alone time here in Salt Lake City, been getting things done. Living in Salt Lake City has been incredible for many different reasons. One of those reasons being opportunity. Now, one thing that's kind of humorous is that me and Christina make all of our money on the internet, and it has little to do with our location. But when we were first moving here, we were able to very quickly find a couple of part-time jobs. I worked at a Starbucks, Christina worked at a bank, and this was a great way to make some quick money. Now, the story of how we got these jobs was interesting because Christina got her job before we moved here. She ended up on a phone interview in Alabama. Shortly after that, we realized she got the job. We pulled the trigger, moved here. Me and Christina really enjoy running around and making videos, and that has provided a lot of opportunity for us for content.
It's always fun to come in these places, but today it's a bummer because James is typically the one that reads the signs and just relays all the information to me. So now I have to read it. God forbid. I don't remember the last time I read anything. For some reason, they're fighter jets heading towards Cuba. Slightly concerning. To give you guys a bit of context, and also if you're new around here, James and I have known each other for a long time. We used to live in South Carolina, and when we started making these videos, we realized that there wasn't very much opportunity, not very many like-minded people, I guess, in the sense of nobody really knew what it was to vlog or, make videos on YouTube. So we went the direction where we knew people were like-minded and knew what making YouTube videos was, and that actually was in Utah. I feel like I do have to mention, you don't have to move to chase a dream on the internet. There's so many people in Iowa who do YouTube videos. Iowa is kind of specific, but you get my point. You don't need to move. The internet is everywhere, but for what we did, we wanted to travel, we wanted to go on more adventures, and Salt Lake City had that for us. We live 3 hours from the desert. It's just absolutely incredible. Dude, look at these fish. What the heck?
So when me and Christina are having our talks about life and things we want to do and money conversations, and anything that involves us taking a little bit of risk, I always end up telling her it's not always black and white, that there's not always a right or wrong answer. It's about having a good strategy. There's a lot of benefit to taking risks. There always is. There's a lot of benefit to being careful. There always is. I think that any good strategy involves both of these things in the mixture. So I think it's a good idea to emphasize thinking about it, thinking it through, and coming up with a good strategy, understanding that there can be multiple good strategies, and you just kind of do your best, but the important thing is to think through it. I think a lot of times we spend too much of our energy worrying about the possibilities of what's to come and not thinking through it properly.
Moving anywhere really is a risk, especially when you're moving across the country, especially when you have very little money. And I will share, I think it's a good idea. I'll share the note that I had whenever I prepared everything to give you guys an idea if you are wanting to take this kind of leap. The entire trip actually ended up costing us about $500 to drive from coast to coast, and we moved all of our stuff in a U-Haul box, which was considerably more than $500, but I'll share all of those details a little bit later on in the video. For right now, I'm going to go snorkeling. So I'm really excited, really freaking excited. We'd recently shared a podcast on this topic, so if you'd like to know more about the story of how we made our way to Utah, I'll link that below. But the whole purpose of this video was for those of you who have goals and ambitions but might be a bit too comfortable. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to move across the country, but it could mean you waking up earlier and crushing your goals little by little. If you're curious about how we planned the trip in 2016 to move out west, I left that link in the first line of the description below. It'll take you to the breakdown of how we made everything work with the little money we had at that point in time. I believe there's one more clip of James swooning over me, so I had to leave that in, but join us in the next episode where I get to play around with the GoPro Fusion for the first time. It's okay. Oh geez. It hurt me, guys. I'm sorry. It definitely is a new experience to film with.
Speaking of pasta, I am very excited to see Christina. Christina, if you're editing this, you definitely are editing this, I know you are. I'm excited to see you. Can't wait for you to come be with me once more. Okay, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Like if you like this thing, subscribe if you're interested in all of the stuff that we're up to. Hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.
Finished with snorkeling, and I want to introduce you guys to Pearl. Remember our last rental car was Skippy, and Skippy was about that big. Pearl is the complete opposite of Skippy. She's a 2019 Toyota Tacoma, and she is all I've never dreamed of. Literally, I've never really wanted a truck, and I park like a total, like, stereotypical woman. This was me trying. This was me trying my hardest, and of course I went over the lines. But Pearl's nice.